Hello, after an entire month of not doing this, this is yours truly back again for another one of my, not really famous, but I'll call them famous anyway, rants. And I am going to continue off my planned rants list. I'm not straying away from that, at least not too far. This rant is going to be on the current, well, not just current, but probably for all time, non-existence of arcades. Now, everyone knows what an arcade is. It's a happy, magical, super crazy, happy bonsai family fun time kingdom full of nothing but video games and skee-ball and air hockey and claw machines and video games, you know, all that stuff. And back when all of us teenagers were growing up as kids in the 90s, best decade ever for us, since, you know, for those of us who didn't live in the 80s, I'm sure the 80s like kicked ass aside from just the music, but as far as us kids get who are like now like what 18, 19, 20, whatever, the 90s kicked ass. Why? One of the main reasons the 90s kicked ass for us, arcades were everywhere back then. I mean, you could not look 5 feet to either direction without seeing an arcade anywhere. I mean, they were in malls, they were in shopping centers, they were by themselves, they were in some cases at friends' houses. My dad had 2 friends, both of which had arcade machines at their house. One of my dad's friends had Joust at his house. One had 2 machines. One of them didn't work. I forgot what that one was. I think it may have been Defender. Yeah, it was Defender. And then he had a Donkey Kong machine at his house. And when we were kids growing up in the 90s, I mean, take the mall, for example. Malls were huge arcade homes. The mall, as a matter of fact, the mall next to my college, it still has its arcade. So it's one of the few left around where I live. Thank God it's still there. And the mall closest to where I live, back when it was still the old mall before it got torn down and replaced with this newer mall with a new name, it had a huge arcade in it. I mean, when I first saw that it closed down, you know those big chain doors that are kind of like garage doors, only in chain form, that go over like a closed down shop? Well, I just took a hold of that chain fence and with both hands just pressed my face to the fence, and I was like, oh yeah, see that little section of yellow diagonal roof? Yeah, that under there is where I played that Galaga machine constantly. I mean, and oh my god, the day that arcade closed down, oh boy, I was just like, what is left to do in this mall? And you know, I mean, we were kids. Arcade was the only thing in the mall we liked. Well, video game stores too, and in my case, the cookie company. Anyway, but we didn't want to go to closed stores or what else? Oh, food court was good too. Maybe Spencer's Gifts. Well, actually, no, Spencer's was a little suggestive for 5-year-olds. Especially today. Anyway. And not just malls, but they could have been in like shopping centers. I saw numerous shopping plazas as a kid that had arcades. It was like this order. Like a pizzeria, laundromat, dollar store, adult video, arcade, drugstore, makeup store, jewelry store, you know, that kind of stuff. And in there, I mean, they had all those machines we grew up on. I mean, like Mortal Kombat, Tekken, crap, I just had this one. Oh, racing games, that wasn't the one I was thinking of. It was one. Star Wars arcades, still not the one I was thinking of. Oh, duh, Galaga, there we go. Galaga, driving games, boat racing, skiing, snowboarding, simulators, basketball hoop games, shooting games where you got a little plastic gun like Time Crisis, Dino Crisis, Area 51, Maximum Enforcer, which I still can't believe they actually made into a PlayStation game. When I saw that in the store once, I was like, wow. But yeah, I mean, they had all those machines, and, you know, as we were kids growing up, I mean, that was like the only thing we ever liked to do. Well, not really. There were other things too, but that was one of the things we liked the most. One of the things that we always looked forward to. You know, when we were kids, one of the things that just excited us most was just going in there, playing those machines till we were red in the, well, till we were blue in the face and bloodshot in the eyes. Both eyes. I mean, and other arcades. There's still a Chuck E. Cheese near, well, not really near my house, about 20 minutes out, but still, it's still there. And shit, that's the same one that was still there back when I was a kid. Hell, I haven't been there since I was like 6 or 7. I'm gonna go there again. Wouldn't that be a weird sight? A 19-year-old walking into Chuck E. Cheese's. He doesn't have any younger siblings or a kid or whatever. It's just him reliving some old memories. That's a pretty sweet thing, isn't it? Childhood memories. Yeah. And that was back, you know, way back in the 90s when we were growing up. Our childhood just rocked. Well, in that sense. Aside from any personal troubles that all of us had as children, I know that we had those. And now, in the year 2009, at least again where I live, arcades just have died completely. I mean, they're just gone. There's like I said, there's that one in the mall near my college, and there's one. There's a miniature golf place. It's called Southern Adventures. I'm pretty sure there's chains of that in other states, other than Alabama. But that one also has actually a pretty big arcade, and actually it's not just a golf. It's got water slides, arcade, bumper cars, ball pit maze, the little rocket jet simulator thing, a laser tag. You know, shit, that was probably more arcade than mini golf. And there's another miniature golf arcade place, but that one got closed down and replaced with an RV park. Yeah, quite a transformation. And there was another mall. This one was in. Now I live in Huntsville, Alabama, and there was one in Decatur, which is about 30 minutes away from here, in the Beltline Mall. And my dad had a job in the Beltline Mall for the longest time as an airbrusher, so we visited that mall frequently. And despite the fact back then we lived in Madison, which I don't know if it's actually it's the neighboring city to Huntsville, pretty much. I lived there from kindergarten through 4th grade, and I think through 5th grade as well. Yeah, 5th and 6th. I kind of went back and forth during those 2 years. Because of divorce and all that. Anyway, and in that Beltline Mall, they had the biggest arcade I had ever seen as a kid. And not only that, it was like really dark inside too. It wasn't really brightly lit. The only lights you saw was like neon glow from arcade machines or air hockey tables and basketball hoop machines. Oh, I remember it like it was yesterday. Yep. Okay, I'm getting lost now. I do want to relive those memories, but not in front of this camera. Anyway. But that's my point here. Where did arcades go? I think that the reason arcades are gone are because people thought, well, you know, with video game technology like it is nowadays, you know, with arcades, people have to drive away from their homes and go to, you know, malls or whatever, waste gas and go spend money on these video games and to buy tickets, or to buy prices for tickets, and some of them don't even give tickets. And what with today, all they have to do is sit at home and play Xbox Live or PSN or Wi-Fi, and they can play people all around the world. I mean, and this is me talking. I'm not talking to anyone else anymore. That's the only motive I could possibly think of. I mean, I highly doubt that arcades would be too expensive to keep open or whatever, or they just went out of business. Maybe they went out of business too because of, you know, like Xbox Live, PSN, whatever, Wi-Fi. Because I mean, they couldn't be too expensive. I saw tons of stores and malls that were way more expensive than arcades. Sterling silver stores, jewelry stores, what have you. But, you know, basically the point of this is arcades are just gone, but we can still relive those sweet, sweet childhood memories of going in there, getting aggravated at games like Galaga and Pac-Man, but still just wanting to play it more and more. Oh boy. I'm going to go relive some memories right now. So with that, this is Metroid, signing off.